You got all them brushes and you don't even know how to use it. Come here, give me your hand. Welcome to Makeup Survival Guide. I'm gonna show you how to use your brushes and why you should be getting particular brushes versus other kinds, okay? Now, first things first, I like to start with my eyes. So, if you're going to blend eyeshadows, you want something that looks like this. You want something that's kind of open and kind of almost looks like a end of a witch's broom. It's wide and there's no makeup on it or anything, but you kind of just want it to be able to glide all over your eye because it's the first application, right? The first thing you're putting on your face, after you prime, is the first thing that you're doing. So you want something that's wide and can kind of almost cover all of your eye. So you want something like this. Now, if you're a girl like me who likes to also do the outer corner of your eyes, you're going to want something a little bit more pointy so you can get into the creases. So you want something a little bit like that. So you see how the difference is where this is wider and that's pointier. So you want something a little bit more pointier so it can get inside of your eyes. So you can really blend in that crease. So that is the difference between something wide like this versus a point. Now, if you really want to do something detailed, like, okay, cool, I already put something in there, I just want something a little bit darker, then you can do something that's just a tad bit smaller than that. That's what's going to help you to really get in there and really get into those even tight places in your eyes. So those are the difference, as you can see from those brushes. I'm a little extra. You don't need this part. After I've put everything I need in my eyes, especially the outer corners, I like to go in with something that's wide like this, but a little pointier on the top like that to blend it all in. So then that's where this will come in and I'll just blend it all in. That's what I use that for. Going into the face after you've primed, exactly, you're going to go in with a good concealer brush. There are all different kinds that you can use. Now, it depends on the texture of your concealer or just whatever feels most comfortable for you to use. It's a little bit flat, it's a little bit pointier so it can get really into those corners and you could just like pat your way through and make it all the way down. Versus this one, as you can see, it's kind of like the all-around brush we were just talking about. So this one I will, again, kind of like how I do here all over, this one will be a little bit more like spreading versus this one, which you spread, but it's also kind of like patting in. So you could pat this one in, but I wouldn't recommend patting this one in because of the bristles. Now for my foundation girlies, pretty simple. You just want a flat top foundation brush, just compact flat. See how thick it is? This works best for cream and liquid foundations because you just compact, just put it in the back of your hand and kind of move with it like that. Pat it in, brush it in, however you like. You could also use this. See how it's a little bit different, but they're both still flat top. This one is a little bit more loose and this one is more tight. So you could also use this if you want something flowing versus this where it's kind of like patted in. I like using both of them, but I like using this for the more compact cream concealers versus this one for my liquid concealers. But do what's best for you, but that's what you're looking for, is kind of a flat top. For cream, powder, or liquid blush, 10 out of 10. And as you can see, it's at an angle because it's meant to just fit right there on your cheeks because it fits right where your cheekbone is, so it lays flat where the bottom of your cheekbone is, but then raises high on your cheekbone so that you can put it on there without it spreading too much downwards or upwards. Go right on there, right on that cheekbone, okay? I'm sorry, I don't have another brush. This is the only one that works. I love her damn. I like to use this one. It's a little bit more loose, a little bit more pointy, but you can also use this one where it's a little bit more flat and then tapered upwards. So you can see that they're both kind of tapered like this, but just one is just more flat like this. And I like using this because I like how loose it is so I can really just add the highlighter like this. Versus this one where you would have to go like this because of the way it's shaped. If I was trying to use the top of that, you can do that as well. But because it's so small, I feel like I'm just gonna get a small streak versus a big one like that. So you want something a little bit, just a little beep beep and a little beep beep right there. That's not your girl, that's your girl. But if you wanna really just put it on that whole side, it's your girl. For our bronzer, we have something that's, again, kind of like that. Now I know you're like, hey, that looks like this one. But as you can see, it's a lot more loose. It's not as dense, it's not as thick. So I would say if you're a hair girly, there's probably 200 density, while this one's a little bit more on the 120 density. It's a lot looser, a lot less hair, not as compacted. And I use this one for the powder if I'm just trying to do like a very light contour because it's so loose, and then you just brush up. So you brush up, keeping it within this right under your cheekbone right there. These are gonna be some bonus brushes. You don't have to get them. I love these down. I can't do my makeup without them. So get them if you want to. So when I'm done with everything, I like to just go in and smooth everything out. I don't know what this brush does, but it just helps you to see how it all goes and ties in together. You just get in there and you just put it all, you don't have no product on here. Just go ahead and just swipe away at all the places on your face you put makeup except your eyes. I've been using this to kind of blend out my contour or bronzer here because it's tapered perfectly to go right under here. So I just go like that on the top where I do my bronzers right there, like that, right on my chin, just to help blend it out. And as you can see, tapered, pointed, a lot looser versus this one. You can see. Yep. You can use this, get the powder, dust it off. You can see, look at that. She jiggling. Anyway, and then you could just go in there and put it on there like that. Sweep it across your face. Boom. You are no longer confused on how to use your makeup brushes. Now, could I just sit and just have these and be content with my makeup? Yes, but sometimes depending on the concealer, depends on the type of bronzer or foundation brush or powder brush or concealer brush you want to use. So now that you kind of have a good idea on which brushes to use and how to use them, go out and get your brush, girl. But don't tell your man or your girl, okay? Bye.